leaderboards as well, so they're going to hope that reconnect comes in as soon as possible.
He did just reconnect. I just saw it in the kill feed, so fantastic news there. They punched him to a place of safety, and now they can get back on track and look to try and continue their dominance throughout this week 1 of Pro League. It was a shame to see Underrated go out, our winners of game 1 today, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to win the entire week here in Pro League. With them going out there, it means it's going to allow other teams to climb above them in the leaderboard. So we're looking at the likes of Kungana, Major Pushers, Dungeon Masters, for example. There is the live leaderboard. So Dungeon Masters currently leading it, Kungana on 50, just 2 points behind. But Major Pushers, New, Kick, they're all within a shout if they can have a big game.
Rebel have done a lot of damage with their Gibby ult. However, now the defensive bombardment living up to his name. Defensive ability of Gibby being shown, and Rebel kind of being stuttered now in this push. However, it's going to be Pierre who gets that first knock. Taylor will move in, and that is going to be Kungana getting wiped off the face of the planet. I think there's one more player alive, maybe? 16 squads remaining, and all of a sudden the pace is starting to pick up here.
I mean, that's great news for the likes of Dungeon Masters, who are currently top, being very much chased by Kungana, but to see 2 on the kill feed at least wiped out means that it's very unlikely Kungana are going to be able to make a stand to try and overtake the leaders of this lobby. So that is good news for plenty of teams, to be honest. First place very much up for grabs here in week number 1 of Pro League. So all these teams will be aware of that. They'll all be watching that kill feed, and they'll know, hey, look, we're within a chance here of really putting some serious points on the board.
Mangles, he's going to find some players below. 142, add a little bit more to that as the Golden R301 fully blinged out is doing a lot of damage. However, they haven't been able to capitalize on that as the other 2 players from his team weren't quite in position to finish off those kills. However, realizing that's a duo, it should be easy work for them. Exins is going to go down. That's going to be Kick picking up some more points, and they've been pretty strong in the slaying category today, Dan, as all of a sudden the kill feed is just lighting up. Alliance involved as well.
Yeah, you saw Kick were in top 5 overall, and even though they haven't won any games today, they have been there or thereabouts. A very consistent team. Certainly when I was looking at having to predict who was going to do well today, I was trying to find a team that would be consistent enough to pick up points every single round, not necessarily a team that would just have the one pop-off game. And perhaps Kick was a team that I underestimated, because they really have shown up and could cause quite a stir in these leaderboards, as 789 have found their way into one of these trailers that we were focusing on a little bit earlier, but it seems like the jig is up. They've been spotted. They've not been able to creep in without being seen here.
However, now they have that black market down in center zone. We know how deadly Loba can be in the end game, stealing away resources from teams who are trying to force their way in, trying to reset inside of those bubbles. If you can steal away those shield batteries, those armor swaps, you can really put yourself in a great position here. So 789, even though it's been an up and down day for them, find themselves in a great spot here in our final game of the day.
Yeah, they would need a mammoth game to push themselves up in the leaderboards to pick up just a small amount of points, really. In Pro League, Kick having to just dash away and try and stay alive at the moment, which they have managed to do so, but by retreating they have gone further away from the next zone. Elsewhere, Alliance, a team we haven't really spoke about for quite some time, because they have been somewhat quiet, but they are on top of another team at the moment, are going to be able to get the shield swaps as well. A little bit of assistance from elsewhere, but it's Rascals, the 789 Kryptonite, who are the team to fall.
I like the way you say Rascals. Very West Country.
Rascals!
789 though, on their back. Sanya, last player alive. He sees the 2 teammates fall in front of him. He's going to try and get those banners. It'll be interesting to see if he's also got a mobile respawn beacon, but with the zone closing into the position it is right now, it's going to be difficult to even be out in the open to get that respawn done. Rebel's still alive as well, working their way towards edge of zone 2. Yeah, with the longbow in hand, trying to hit some big damage as well. Top Dog's going to finish off 789 now. His last player alive will be taken down. Now the lobby is half. 10 squads remaining. Round 4 will be closing in around 30 seconds time.
Again, a lot of teams eliminated a little bit earlier than you'd expect, but there's the live leaderboard once more. Dungeon Masters have picked up 1 extra point. Kungana, of course, are out, so they're on 50. Major Pushers on 48. New esports are starting to climb their way up. Invictus still within a shout. Also, Kick are underrated, eliminated. Solo Q Goats, if they're still in, they could still have a big game after the pop-off they had in the previous. So there's a lot of teams to try and keep an eye on here with 10 remaining, and definitely week 1 of Pro League is up for grabs.
Zone pull as well. It's been another little bit of a funky one. We're moving back towards Overlook, basically, the little outpost. We saw a game finish a little bit earlier. It was Dungeon Masters, I think, who managed to, or Major Pushers who managed to win that one earlier, as my memory fades away for just a second as Taylor tries to fade away behind this rock to get a shield battery popped. These shots from Pierre aren't going to connect until the final one does. The missile swarm comes in, the bubble will go down, so they will have a chance now to reset.
Top dogs have really been a nuisance throughout this entire game, and there's the remaining teams left. So Solo Q Goats, yes, they still have a chance. IG as well, as Major Pushers are getting involved in this fight, and actually there's a lot of damage that's being provided. The shots coming out are huge. The EVA rate now comes to follow, and that's going to be a squad wipe, but at what cost for Major Pushers? Can they get away, and can they reset?
2 has no HP at all, but it doesn't matter because he is forcing teams back. With just pure aim, he can get the armor swap off though, and that means they will be out. Another team eliminated in front of our eyes, and now we're down to 8 with those 2 teams being eliminated. UE Sports, inside of this truck, they only have 2 players alive though. Postkill has been eliminated from the lobby.
UE Sports also one of those teams who could potentially win the entire week here. Invictus, a team that has been pretty quiet in this game, but have slowly worked their way into the top 8. Kick, another team who need points here, but are down to just 2. You need the 2 remaining players to really step up. You're going up against Alliance. Hackis has fallen, but Yuki got the trade, so it's probably going to be a res for res here. And then it's going to be a question of, do you re-engage here, or do you just make a pact as the 2 teams to try and get into this next circle?
Lions are going to have to make their move. Kicker going to try and hold them out. They have the bubble down as well to work around. Hayaka goes down though. Hackis with the entry frag in this fight. OJ Rain trying to exchange and will do so as well. Vibes, Hackis fall. All falls down to Yuki now. It's a 1v1 between him, but unfortunately it looks like another team might be trying to get involved as now we jump over to watch Kick trying to make their way into zone.
Yeah, Alliance are wiped, kicked down to just 1, potentially a res, but with the zone coming in, you imagine that now the last remaining player on the Valkyrie just has to try and survive. Hope this guy with dive can come in a little bit later to elongate your chance at getting placement, but look at Invictus, 7 squads left, have the Caustic online, and Crypto's just feeding all of that information. One of the best positions in the game right now as we fall down to 6, Kick, get eliminated. And if we can get a look at those live leaderboards again when they are available, because this is getting really tight at the top.
And we're going to see a little bit of a standoff here between all 6 of these teams. As everyone's found a place to play, you can feel that the shots have quietened down a little bit. The lines of sight have been denied from the teams, and it's all about the IGLs once more. Who is going to make the first move? Who is going to make the best move? And who is going to make that game-winning decision to put their team in that final fight?
Big enough game here could take some of these teams to #1 position. Invictus, 10 points off top. If they were to win, that would be another 12, but you've also got to take the points away from Dungeon Masters, but I'm not sure Dungeon Masters are even alive anymore. So there really is an opportunity for the likes of New Esports and Invictus to potentially win this entire week. Solo Q Goats also still alive, but with Major Pushers, I think, eliminated earlier, and also with Kangana eliminated earlier, this is all for the taking. These teams really have to be looking at who's left and what's left, and say, we can be the winners of week 1 of Pro League, which would be absolutely massive, carrying that through to the next coming weeks.
The drone going to give all of the information that Invictus could possibly want on the position of all of the other teams. Eternal up on this high ground are going to be kind of in a great place to pick up kills here, as teams will be forced in towards each other from that truck, from behind the truck, from inside those buildings. And even though the smoke has gone down from Shiv, which is going to cause some problems, to be honest with you, denying those lines of sight, he should still be able to wait till that clears to land some big damage and get those kills on the board.
New Esports have just lost 1, make that 2. Kashira and Postkill have fallen, and it's Solo Q Goats who are doing damage, so much damage from up above. New Esports have lost 2, but still have 1 remaining, so they're still within it in terms of placements into this top 6. And they've been such a nuisance to Solo Q Goats. Just so much gas! Absolutely toxing them out, and they can't escape it. Shiv just about survives, but at what cost? Diffie-Q's gone down. They need to get him back up ASAP.
Serious skin irritation coming in there for Shiv. Real problem for him to have to deal with. Hasn't been able to be in a position to get the heals off, but it doesn't matter because he's got the L-Star in hand. Manages to pick off a kill as well. Medkit now being popped by Shiv as Solo Q Goats with 2 players alive look to go back-to-back.
TD also falls, so I'm looking at Invictus, I'm looking at Solo Q Goats. A victory here for either of them could take them up to top 3, if not even first position, depending on what has happened elsewhere. Diffie-Q does get taken down by a nade in the end, so Solo Q Goats down to just 2. IG are very much a full 3 here, but they have to portal. 3 squads left, this is scary.
Managed to find a safe place to play though. The Caustic gave them the cover. Here's the massive fight. And that is a big chunk coming in. Noisy's now with the flatline in hand, and it will be Invictus who managed to close out our final game of the day. Perfectly played, perfectly called, and perfectly executed to close things out.
And that may be enough to take them just within the top 3. They were about 10 points off of first place. You'd imagine they've secured 12 points for winning there. Depending on what's happened elsewhere, they could be up there with week 1 Pro League in terms of overall standing. So